record you have ever put on your turntable.
What's up, guys? My name is Corinne. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you guys how to meal prep for weight loss. I made about 12 meals this week here, and it was super easy. It took me about an hour and a half to cook all this stuff. But before we get started, I just want to invite you guys to subscribe to my channel, like this video for more content like this. I'm going to show you every detail of this meal prep, so let's just get started. So the first thing that I did was I started to chop up some Brussels sprouts because I just love Brussels sprouts for meal prep. They're high in fiber, they're high in vitamin K, vitamin C. They're just an all around very nutrient dense vegetable. So I almost prep these every single week. It is a little bit of a tedious. This is probably the most time that you will spend on this meal prep is chopping up the Brussels sprouts, but you can also buy them already chopped up if you want to save even more time with meal prepping. But yeah, I did like about 4 of these bags of the giant Brussels sprouts, chopped them up in a bowl, and then I went ahead and I grabbed a baking sheet. I lined it with some aluminum foil, and I spread the Brussels sprouts super evenly across the baking sheet so they all cook, you know, around the same temperature. And so I just laid them flat. And then I just went into my fridge and grabbed some salami that I had hanging out in my refrigerator. And I like to add this to my Brussels sprouts because it gives like a savory, salty flavor to the sprouts. And it just tastes delicious when everything is all cooked. It gives it just like that nice savory flavor. And then I went ahead and I started to season my Brussels sprouts. I used salt and pepper, coconut aminos, some paprika, and olive oil. And then I went ahead and I put this in the oven at 400, and this takes about 40 minutes to cook. That's why I like to put in the chicken with the vegetable because they cook at the same time and it saves so much time. So I just used some organic free-range chicken thighs, and I took another baking sheet and also laid the chicken breast out before I seasoned them. And I went in with pretty much the same seasonings, but I took away the salt and I added a smokehouse maple seasoning from McCormick's that I just love. And I use this on my chicken because it gives it such a great flavor. And it just makes the chicken so much more enjoyable to eat when it's flavored properly. It's just so juicy, and I love this chicken. And then I also popped this in the oven with the Brussels sprouts, and I cooked both of them for 40 minutes on 400 degrees. And yeah, so knock out 2 birds, 1 stone, do your vegetables with your protein, and you know, you save yourself so much time. And I think that's the reason why I love meal prepping, guys, is just because once I have about 9 to 12 meals, that lasts me for about 3 to 4 days, and I don't even have to think about what I'm gonna cook or what I'm gonna eat for the next few days. It is super convenient, and I also eat pretty healthy, and I save money because I'm not going out to eat, you know, for every single meal. So it just takes the thought out of it, and it just makes it super easy on you. So yeah, I'm just over here like marinating that chicken, making sure all of the chicken is covered in seasoning. I turn it around, I make sure that it's covered, and then after that I even add a little bit more seasoning to it just to make sure that it's good. All right, so now let's start with the chicken lettuce wraps that I'm also gonna make, and this is gonna be my low carb option meal for the week. I like to make a low carb option meal for days that I don't really work out so hard, and I like to have a higher carb option. So I'm showing you the lower carb. I add kale to a pan, which you will see this is a reoccurring trend in my meal preps. I like to add kale to a lot of different things just to add extra fiber and extra greens to my diet. I saute that in the pan first and with some olive oil. And then I add my ground chicken and my seasonings. You can use whatever seasoning you want for your lettuce wraps, but I just like use the same exact seasonings for pretty much everything, which is the coconut aminos, salt, pepper, and some paprika. Yeah, so then here I'm just go ahead and start to cook this, start to separate the meat, and I'm cooking this at a medium heat, and yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing here. Moving on to my carb option for the week, I always like to put a really good carb in, which would be like quinoa, brown rice. I do even do like quinoa pasta, but this week I'm doing brown rice pasta. This is the first time I actually made this brand, which I got from Ralph's, and I actually really liked this pasta. And it's just brown rice, bran and brown rice. So it's a really slow burning carbohydrate. So yeah, I just cooked the pasta for about 7 minutes, and then I drained it, and then to stop the cooking, I ran cold water over the pasta. A little trick I learned, just run cold water over it if you like your pasta a little bit more al dente, you know, and yeah, it's super easy way to get it to stop cooking. So I strained the pasta, and then in the same pot is where I add my vegetables for the pasta, and I just had an extra yellow zucchini squash in my fridge, so I just chopped that up and then put that in the pot along with some cherry tomatoes and some kale, and then I sauteed that in that pot with some olive oil for about 10 minutes. Then once I added all my vegetables to the pot, I just like stir it around. I added quite a bit of olive oil. I love olive oil or coconut oil or whatever oil you want to use. And yeah, I just sauteed it and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then it looks like this. The kale has cooked down. The vegetables are a little bit more soft. I went ahead and added that brown rice pasta, and oh my god, it was so much pasta, and I just should have only made like half of the bag. It would have been perfect. I wouldn't have had so much extra of it, but whatever, like I can always, you know, use it or eat it throughout the week. So yeah, I just added the pasta back to the pan. I use this balsamic extra virgin like dressing, and I like it because the calories are so low. It has like 3 calories per serving and almost no carbs, so it's awesome to use as a sauce. And I went ahead and added some Parmesan cheese as well, and this is really good because it also makes the sauce a little bit thicker once it's melted down, and it just tastes so good. Okay, so moving on to the lettuce wraps. I bought these organic romaine lettuce leaves, and they were already pre-cut and washed, which makes it so convenient. But if you don't find those at your store, you can just get some romaine and chop it up and wash it and add it to your meal prep. I took that chicken that I made, and in my meal prep container, I added a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top, and then I went ahead and added like 2 to 3 of the romaine lettuce little leaves, and then yeah, I can use them as my low carb meal option and have lettuce wraps. And oh my god, you guys, these were actually so freaking good because I ate one last night and I was like, yes, give it to me. I also added a little bit of salsa verde on top. If you don't like salsa, you can add like sriracha to it. You can add whatever sauce that you like, whatever like kind of like spicy sauce or hot sauce that you like to it. Or you don't have to add sauce at all, but I use the salsa verde on top because I love this salsa. So yeah, and then you have your lettuce wraps for the next few days for your post-workout meal, or just a day where you want to do like lower carbs because you didn't even get a chance to work out. So yeah, don't they look delicious? And then moving on, I went ahead and started to cut up that chicken because it was done, and look at that chicken, girl. It is looking so good. I like it when it's a little bit crispy and it has that barbecue look. I did taste a piece while I was cutting it because it looks so good. So once I chopped up all of my chicken, I then took the Brussels sprouts out of the oven, let them cool, and then I started to just assemble my meals. What I really love about eating chicken and vegetables is that for me, I don't feel like I have to weigh it, and I don't have to so much worry about the calories. I used to count calories, but now I just eat super healthy and I cook all my meals so I don't have to worry about the salt bloating me and like what ingredients are in the food, because when you eat out, you never know what they're using. So yeah, I don't really weigh my food anymore. I just kind of eat super healthy and I go intuitively, and this is what my meal prep looks like. And I got about 12 meals out of this prep for an hour and a half, that is amazing. That's why I love to meal prep. It saves me time throughout the week. And then I had this huge thing of pasta left over. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.
Challenging record you have ever